Hello and welcome back to the Gayle King Show. If you're a regular listener, it is no secret to you that I enjoy a good meal. And, you know, the thing about me is I am an equal opportunity eater. I love fine dining. I love little hot dog stands. And I also love a good diner. But the thing is, when I go to a diner, I really am interested in the menu and the variety. For other people, when they go to the diner, who knew, it can turn out to be a whole life lesson, if you will. And that's what we're talking about today. And in some form, we're talking about how a diner really can change your life and the choices that you make in the diner. Well, I couldn't do that by myself. So we've asked Tim Storey to join us today. Hi, Tim Storey.
It's good to be here.
Tim Storey has a book. It's called Utmost Living, as opposed to Almost Living. I like
Exactly.
that. Utmost Living, Tim Storey, Creating and Savoring Your Best Life Now. And why I make the diner analogy is because you did. You said one of your favorite things to do. You've traveled all around the world, and no matter where you go, you always like to end up in a diner, or if you're in Europe, a cafe or a bistro.
Exactly.
But you like a casual, comfortable place, good atmosphere where the food is good. And just walking into the diner, you can tell a lot about the people who are there. And I was fascinated by that.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. You know, I did it just to find a place to eat.
Uh-huh.
And it first started in Stockholm, Sweden. I was there for 3 days doing these leadership seminars. And I found the same people would come in and sit in the same spot.
Uh-huh.
And I began to interview some of the waitresses there and asking, does this guy usually sit there? Oh, all the time.
Uh-huh.
So, Gail, I knew I was on to something. So whether it was Baton Rouge or Sao Paulo, Brazil, I'd go to diners, interview waitresses, find out people sat in the same spots, ordered the same food, and their life was the usual.
And what does that tell you about people? Because I'm thinking when I go to any restaurant, I don't want to sit by the door.
Right.
I don't want to sit by the kitchen. I prefer a booth instead of a chair.
Mm-hmm.
I like to really look at the menu and take my time about deciding what I'm going to have. You know, I often joke with the waiter or waitress who's waiting on me that you saw the movie Harry Met Sally, and Sally can never find exactly what she wants. So she'll say, I want this, but could you add this? Or could I go, I'm that girl.
Exactly.
So when you go to a diner and you look at the people, what are you learning about them?
What I'm finding is that most people are ordering up what I say is this almost life. Almost means not quite, nearly. So they go to the diner to eat. Usually there's a host or hostess that would lead them to a chair or to a booth, and they would just go, whether it be by the kitchen or by a noisy child. See, they're not Gayle King, so they're saying, that's not where I want to be. Most people just go with it, and they find themselves now in a certain space, okay?
But, Tim, I don't do it in a nasty way.
Right.
I mean, I just say I would, if I'm being set by the kitchen or the door, I just say, you know, could I sit someplace else? And I don't mind waiting.
See, but I like that because you're aware and you're awake and you're saying to yourself, I've had a bad experience by the kitchen or by the noisy child, so therefore I'm not going to sit there again. Where so many people, they just keep going back to those same old places. I call it faces, places, and spaces because I like to rhyme.
Yeah, and you say in your book, we can all change our faces.
We can change it.
If you take it out of the diner analogy, you're saying we can all change our faces, spaces, and places in our life.
100%.
Which I thought was a really good example.
Right. So every day life is like a diner. So let's use that metaphor, that life is like a diner. So you wake up every day and you have choices. So in the diner analogy, you walk in, you sit down. You don't have to sit where they tell you. Okay, you can wait a few more minutes, get another place. And you also get to choose who you sit with. Wow, look at that. We can choose our partners. What you find in the dining experience, so many people sit with the same people every single day, hearing the same stories.
But, Tim, what if they like that? Tim Storey, what if they like that story?
Well, here's the deal. If it's working for them, then fine. If it's enhancing you, then fine. But if it's just the same people dialoguing about the same things that are getting you to the same places, that's not good. Let's spread it out. Let's change our partners at the diner. And that's what I found from the waitresses. They said the same guys come in with the same people every day.
We're talking to Tim Storey, the author of Utmost Living. I also like that you said quite often when you go into a diner, as in life, you already know kind of what you want. If it's lunchtime, you want lunch food. If it's breakfast time, you want, like you wouldn't go at a dinner time, except I've done this though, and ordered pancakes and waffles or pancakes and eggs. You're saying most people have an idea about what they want.
Okay, but I'm loving the fact that you do that. I'm loving the fact that you will go with the flow.
Yeah,
okay?
Yes,
because
I do.
Some things in life you decide, some things you discover. So today, let your life be decisions, of course, choices, but also discover things. Let it just happen. And, look at the menu in a different way and try something new that's on the menu and let it take you to a different place.
And I don't really like to criticize you, Tim Storey, because I like you very much. Let's go on record saying that.
We are friends.
Yes, we are friends. But I was very confused about very early on in the book, you said, without ever having met you, I can tell you that you have all the abilities, and you're saying this to the reader. You're not saying this to me, Gail. I can tell you that you have all the abilities you need to become a world shaker and a history maker.
Right.
It's all in how you marshal them to the task and learn to take advantage of the gifts in yourself. I don't really believe that everybody has the ability to become a world shaker and a history maker. Do you really, truly believe that?
I love the way you phrase that. Okay, so let's dialogue as friends, even though we're on the radio.
Okay.
Okay, here's the deal. When I talk about stretching your life to an utmost level, that's stretching your life to a max. Your max and someone else's max is completely different. To be a great mother, you could stretch your life to the max as a mother, just taking care of your children. That's great. You're getting great, healthy kids. To me, that's being a world-shaking mother. So I'm just, that's just a Tim Storeyism, the world shaker deal.
Okay.
Let's say if you're a construction worker.
See, I took it literally.
See, if you're a construction
I'm thinking Nelson
worker,
Mandela.
I gotcha. See, well, that's the people you hang around, Gail.
No.